Hey, it's the preacher, and I want to take a minute and just recap my vacation. Today is Saturday, November the 23rd. It's the last day of my vacation, and it's a vacation that I really needed but didn't want to take, and let me explain that. My wife's family has been through a lot this year. Her father died. He's the farmer rancher that pretty much runs all the cattle and the crops around our house. And he got really sick in January. And he almost died in January. He stayed sick. He went from a hospital to a nursing home, to a hospital, to a nursing home, to his home for a brief amount of time, and then back to a nursing home, back to a hospital, and this cycle of hospital, nursing home. My mother-in-law, bless her heart, she did all she could possibly do to care for him and make sure that, he had everything he needed. But that left my wife to kind of pick up the slack around here, and me to pick up the slack for her. And the long story short, when her dad passed away, he dropped a farm in my mother-in-law's lap, and she knew how to run it. She knows what it's about. She's lived on it, ever since they bought it together and built it together. But to make all those matters worse, there was a record flood like we have never seen or had recorded before that completely submerged half the farm. We lost most of our hay ground. We lost cattle. We lost pasture. We lost fences. We lost a pivot. We lost a lot of the farm. Couple that with his illness and ultimately his death. We never really have had any time off. We took a week of vacation in the summer, and during that time my mother-in-law was in a four-wheeler accident and broke her hip and her shoulder in two places. So when we came back from there, there was just a mass of stress, things that needed to be done, things we should help with and could help with, and I'm allotted 3 weeks of vacation. I'd only taken one, and I'm coming up on the end of the year, and I really don't like to take a week of vacation and hunt around here at my house just because I get bored. I basically hunt 100 and something acres here around my house, maybe 120 acres. And I have a few hundred acres down on the river to hunt, but 14 hunts, 7 mornings, 7 evenings. You get real bored looking at the same places if you do it every day. So I didn't really want to take a week of vacation, but I needed a week where I just didn't have anything to do. So how'd the vacation go? Well, I shot a deer. I shot a pretty good buck, as most of you saw in some of the videos. I shot a pretty good buck. Actually, the biggest buck that I had any pictures of this year, the opening day of gun season. And that only left me one buck tag and a week to fill it. And then I end up shooting my second buck on the first night of my vacation, which is Friday. Friday's typically my day off, and that's why I call it this channel Preacher's Day Off, and most of the videos are whatever I'm doing on that Friday. So vacation starts. First evening I shoot my second buck, so there's no more deer hunting. I'm just not going to walk around where a big giant buck could run up on me and all I'm holding some doe tags. I just don't put myself in that kind of temptation. My box stand blew down over the summer. I usually just sit in a box stand overlooking a field and a soybean field and a little branch, and I have some woods in front of me, and usually every day is spent just sitting in a box stand, looking out the windows, kicking back in my chair, kind of like this, drinking coffee. And then when a deer comes out, if I want to shoot it, I slide a little plexiglass window out of the way and take a shot at it. This first deer, I shot it on the ground here around the house, just out in the woods, like I used to hunt as a kid growing up. The second buck was the same way. I did a video on that, but what I really enjoyed about those first 2 bucks, or the only 2 bucks, it's the first 2 bucks in a long time that I've just got out and hunted and found and saw deer and had them come through the woods, and it was enjoyable to go back to that hunting without the box stand, without the comfort and the roof over my head and the walls to block the wind, and it was enjoyable to go back and just hunt again. So I really enjoyed the 2 deer that I shot this year. And then that forced me to fish on my vacation, because I wasn't just going to sit around, and they were calling for rain for a couple days, so I knew I needed to get out while I could. So I went crappie fishing and caught crappie, and then I came home and baked them and used the Cajun seasoning, and I really kind of perfected the way I bake crappie. I love them fried, don't get me wrong. Fried is my preferred way to eat them. But I'm trying to cut out carbs, and all that cornmeal just doesn't work. So I've really come up with a good baked crappie recipe, and I enjoyed cooking the crappie. The basketball ref and I went trout fishing. I really enjoyed just getting away, eating some barbecue for lunch, catching some trout, coming back and putting those trout on the smoker. It seemed like my whole vacation consisted of gathering meat and then in the kitchen preparing meat. Gathering meat, in the kitchen preparing meat. I made, I think, 15 pounds of deer sausage this week. No, 18 pounds of deer sausage this week. So I really have enjoyed my time away from the church. And I've really enjoyed, even though I didn't go anywhere, I didn't do anything special, just stayed here. And I made a commitment after I shot that deer. I said, I'm going to do a video every day of my vacation. I'm going to edit and upload 1 video every day while I'm on vacation. And today's the last day, and I've done that. So it was good. I needed a week off. Not a week away from the church. The church I pastor is a real joy. I love my job. I am thoroughly convinced that God designed me to be a Baptist pastor, and I love my job. It's not my job that wears me out. It's not preaching. It's not dealing with the people in the church. That doesn't tire me out. It's dealing with all the other stuff in life that you have to deal with. That's what makes us need a vacation. And yeah, I would have liked to went somewhere. I really think I would have liked to taken this in the summer and went out west. But it just wasn't in the cards this year. So I spent it here, and I tried to share it with you, and I tried to share some of my recipes and some of the places, some of the things I did here. And I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys watching. I really want to take just the last few minutes. This is kind of a rambling video. I've already gone longer than I thought I would go. I really just want to thank y'all for watching my channel and commenting, and that means a lot. I really enjoy making videos, putting them out, letting people see them, and then people commenting back. You know, even the bad comments. Even the ones where people say I'm stupid, or, you know, I don't know why you did this, or this makes no sense, or you don't know what you're doing. You know, all those guys. That's fine. Champ, you may be in the way, bud. You're going to have to move. Any of those. I just love the interaction with you guys, you know, from around the world. People from, you know, other countries who've never been even in the States, and they wonder how we hunt in Arkansas, or what kind of fish we have, or, you know, certain foods and how we cook them. So thank you guys for tuning in. You watching the videos makes it where I want to record them and share them with you. And so I've had a great vacation. I've killed a deer, I've caught some fish, I've made some pretty good food. I've had a pretty good time. And tomorrow morning, I'm ready to go back and see the good folks at church. And we're going to have Thanksgiving meal tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And I look forward to another year with you guys. And we may just make this a yearly thing. We may title it like Preacher's week off instead of preacher's day off. And I may take one of my 3 weeks and just spend it here locally, hunting and fishing, and who knows what all we might come up with. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll quit rambling. I've got a little work to do, even though it's vacation. It's finally quit raining and it's gotten cold. I'm going to do a little cleaning up around the house, and I'll see you guys on my next day off.